Right.
You get better conditional effects and other stuff than a first level that does scale. It's like, oh, wow, I get another die 6. Or I can, blind and...
Right. Yeah, no, that's fine. I totally understand. Oh, man. Very wet and rainy day. But yeah, things are going really well on my end. I've almost hit the $400 mark in book sales.
Cool. Do you
Yeah.
get a percentage or
No,
almost all of it?
that is my percentage.
Oh,
Actually,
cool.
the gross on it was like 5. I don't know. They drive through RPG takes 30%, which is fucking draconian, but whatever. But I did take the the initiative and I put them up for sale on another store too. Um, Big Geek Emporium. They have them now available for the Braunhaven campaign setting, and their interface is a little different than Drive Through RPG. Drive Through RPG is much more friendly as far as getting stuff up on the site, whereas Big Geek Emporium, from what I'm seeing, looks like they took point of sale software and modified it for a web store application. So it'll do far more than than drive through RPG. On the back end, it'll do a lot more. But trying to figure out from this side of things how to manipulate it to get it to do what you want it to do was a bit of a curve.
How's it going?
Hello, Billy. Oh.
So, out of curiosity, how many games do you think we have left on this run?
Oh, not a whole lot. I with the frequency of how fast you guys get through stuff, I would say maybe 4 or 5 sessions.
Okay.
And you're probably going to get at least one more level before the big finale. There might be as many as 6, but I don't foresee that there's a whole lot left.
Well, the main reason I was asking was after a lot of contemplation, more than likely when this campaign is through, I'm going to probably back out for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
Not that I don't want to play with you guys, but with the kid coming, I was already kind of thinking about it, but now with all the changes, seems like a good time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, if you need to be there for CL and with the kid, I can get it. I understand.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to keep in touch, and I'm hoping that once we get the kid here and everything's going, that maybe slide back in, continue playing at some point.
Oh, definitely. Yep, there's always an open door for you. So yeah. But yeah, I I looked at the at the sales that I've made from the Braunhaven books, and the projection they have the ability to do a projection on future sales, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm making as much doing this as I was working at the shop, and I don't have to get up. Most days I don't even change out of my pajamas.
Nice. Do you still talk to the shop?
Not very often. I
haven't been in there in so long.
Yeah, there's a shop out here that's like right up the street from me called Dice Age Games, and to be real honest, they're a way better shop than Going Gaming. And I thought Going Gaming was pretty good. I mean, they had a they have a really good selection, especially of minis and stuff. Oddly enough, their selection of minis is way better than Guardian Games. Since the end of the pandemic, Guardian Games, I don't know if you've been in there, but they moved their inventory around and they rearranged their shelves, and in so doing, and I don't know where it went, but they ended up like liquidating, God, like 2/3 of their inventory. And now when you go in there, it's like every other shop. You used to be able to go into Guardian Games and find, stuff that you on the shelves that you couldn't find in other brick and mortar stores, like Traveler books or BattleTech books. They even had those. Now, just like all the other stores, they've got Wizards of the Coast dick in their mouth, and it's all D&D. It's all D&D based board games. It's the only other thing that they have that's a little off, is of course Cards Against Humanity. They've got a pretty good selection of expansions for that, but 90% of their crap is all D&D, and I'm like, where's the other stuff? I mean, it was so bad last time I was in there that it was even starting to take over their Warhammer stuff, that's almost unheard of. And so I don't know. Guardian Games isn't that great. Going Gaming had, like I said, they had a better selection of minis and paints and stuff even than Guardian had. But then we discovered this shop up here, and they have an even bigger selection of minis, and they've got some really obscure options available. They don't have a whole lot of the really weird stuff, but they've got everything from the really huge. They even had Tiamat, the big one, that takes up your entire table. They had that for sale, and their prices aren't terrible. I mean, obviously they have to do a markup because of how bad Wizards is about treating their game stores, but it's not awful. So we've been going in there every so often. They've got an excellent selection of dice. So yeah, if you're ever over in the Vancouver area, check out Dice Age Games because they are really cool. They've got a schedule up that's their schedule's kind of hit or miss, but they do have open tables that you can go in and run games, and yeah, it's a pretty cool little shop. It's really not that small. It's about the size of Going Gaming if you got rid of that ridiculous food restaurant that they've got, that they claim is constantly losing money. Whatever. But yeah, so no, I haven't been in there, and I don't have a whole lot of real desire to make the trip specifically to go over there, especially since my biggest problem is that here they were bitching about losing money constantly, and we're barely we're losing money constantly, we're in dire need, we're gonna lose the store, yada yada yada. And then immediately before the pandemic was even over, they go and get another business loan and a new business partner and open a second shop. And I'm like, wait a minute. If your one shop is losing money, why? How does that?
I didn't know they opened a second shop.
Yeah.
Frisbee store or something?
Yeah, discs and dice. So one half of the store sells role-playing games, and the other half is dedicated to Frisbee golf. And I'm like, how the fuck do those two? How do those two things meet? But they're over there in the outlet malls down there at the bottom of the hill in Troutdale. And
I know where you're talking about.
No, and so I mean, when they did that, so here's part of the reason that they were. I believe that they were losing money because they make idiotic business choices. So one of the things that they were doing was, I mean, they had a shitload of employees working that shop. And I'm like, you know, you could get off your ass and actually go fucking work the till. Because honestly, for all the busy work that you do, you don't get anything actually done. And so, you know, they're paying out wages to all these useless employees, or needless employees, not necessarily useless, but needless employees. And then what he does is, so their main shop is losing money. They open Discs and Dice, and basically hands it over to his top DM that was left as store manager, and just says, "Okay, bye." And he doesn't really spend any time there anymore. He's spending all of his time at the other store. Like that's a horrible way to run a business. I'm like, that's just, of course you're losing money.
Was the going? I always liked that space. I like the restaurant. Like you said, I just think they were making bad decisions.
Yeah, over and over and over. Honestly, I'm shocked that they're even still open. I with the stuff that they've done, I'm utterly amazed that they're still open. But
because like them having their beer license, that could have made them so much money in the gaming nights.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and then he he didn't want to pay the cost to have to get a distributor. So, you know, I think it was every 2 weeks, they would drive down and pick up the kegs themselves. They went and jury rigged their own tap system, and it constantly it was constantly failing. Like, you would order a cider or a beer, and like, you know, they would have like, you know, maybe 3 taps, and 2 of the 3 would give you nothing but head when you pulled the lever. The other one had practically no carbonation in it at all. And so they were, oh, the taps are screwed up again. We're gonna have to, you know. I'm like, why don't you just pay the money monthly for a distributor? Because they'll come in every 2 weeks, check your taps, and make the adjustments themselves, and you won't have this problem anymore. But, you know, you get what you pay for, Alan. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, sometimes it's best to pay a professional, because in the end, it will pay for itself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever. I mean, like you said, I'm shocked that they're still in business, but kudos to them for, kudos to Nathan for running the shop and keeping the doors open. They're now closed 2 days a week. They changed their business hours to these ridiculous hours of, you know, like, there for a while it was something stupid, like, oh, we open our doors at like 3 p.m. and we close at 11. Like, okay.
I know. I think the last time I went there, it was like, I don't know, noon or 1 or something. I went there, I was like, oh, they should be open, and they weren't. And I was like, oh, okay, well, then that was the last time I tried to go there.
Right. I mean, you know, if you, with the number of employees that they have on their books, there really should be no excuse that store should ever, you know, even if somebody is sick or has an emergency, there's no reason that store shouldn't be opening on time. That's just, that's just the way it is. But, you know, okay, I understand, you know, if whoever's supposed to open the store that day, oh, you had to go to the hospital or somebody's sick, I get it. But, yeah, like I said, I look at their business decisions, it gives me a migraine, you know. So, yeah, so we were talking about how many, Billy was asking about how many games we've got left. He's probably, after the end of this campaign, probably going to bow out for a little while because of the baby coming on. And, you know, once things get settled down, he was saying that he may then come back in. So, and I told him there's always an open door. You know, he's always welcome in my campaigns. And, so yeah, but we've got probably 5 or 6 more sessions before we close out. It might be more than that, but you know, I'm not gonna rush to the end and ruin the experience. We'll get there when we get there, but I'm estimating probably 5 or 6 sessions. You guys seem to wade through stuff pretty well. So welcome to Waterdeep Dragon Heist. The party is going to be heading to Kolat Towers. Right now, they're in their tap room. After having last week, they went on a shopping trip to an underground magical auction, and kind of beefed themselves up a bit because they know that they're going after Manchun, and so they needed to do an A-team montage moment and weld some chain link fence to the front of the van and things like that. Before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. Today we would like to thank Speechless Bard. She makes beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as covers for your core rulebooks. She has dice bracelets. A really popular one is the Pride bracelet, if you like to show off your geeky side. She has a dice rolling mat that when it is rolled up, it looks like a spell scroll. She has just really cool stuff, and she does all of the artwork and customization by hand. She's an amazingly talented artist. If you are ordering, make sure you give yourself a little bit of extra time if you're over here in the U.S. because she's in the U.K. and it takes a little while for it to cross the pond. If you're a fan of our role-playing games, I haven't really written much for this game. Writing broadsheets for a fantasy game is a lot harder than it sounds. Like a sci-fi game, writing news blurbs, I mean, you watch the news every night. You know what kind of shit to write. But for a fantasy game, it's a little different. I don't know if that'll change with the new campaign or not. Since that's my campaign, so I theoretically should have more insight to it. So maybe that will help with that. But if you go to Obsidian Portal, it's in the link down below. The adventure log is written in the manner of broadsheets, news around Waterdeep, and of course that campaign page will be changing because of all of the legal kerfluffle from WotC. Just not even gonna attempt it. And so if you like the content you're seeing, please give a thumbs up and keep an eye on that page because, like I said, the campaign will be changing and we'll be switching over to the Braunhaven campaign. And most people are probably unaware of the Braunhaven campaign, so that might be a good way to get your feet wet and see what's going on there. So you guys are in the tap room. Your plan is to go to Kolat Towers, and I might have had something for this, but maybe not. No, I thought I had a chapter picture for this, but I don't think I bothered to go that far ahead because I didn't know if we were going to get that far. So,
So the last thing I remember was going under the tomb thing, and we fought a slime, and so I'm a little bit confused.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here last week.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So, so they made it through. Yeah, that's right. So they made it
down there that they treasure or anything.
Yeah, they found the Vault of Dragons. There was 500,000 gold pieces there that Daggalt Neverember had embezzled from the city of Waterdeep, and he had placed a guardian there, and the guardian turned out to be a gold dragon, an adult gold dragon, and these guys convinced the gold dragon that him protecting the horde was really more of due to his greed as a dragon, and they kind of talked him through his narcosis, and the dragon, being an adult gold dragon, he's old enough. He knows, of course, Laeral Silverhand and Mert the Moneylender. And so they went and they got Laeral Silverhand, came back, and she talked to the dragon. And so Waterdeep now has that pile of gold, and they gave you 50,000 gold pieces as a finder's fee. And,
okay, cool.
And so They have deputized you as a part of Force Grey, and because Force Grey is off doing Force Grey things, they have kind of not part of the deal with deputizing you as part of Force Grey is that with the stipulation that we can't have Manchun operating openly in Waterdeep, and so they have requested that you go and put a stop to that. And all of the rumors and information that you have gotten tell you that Manchun and his network of Zentarim are located in a area called Kolat Towers, and it is what is.
I think I'm all caught up then. Now I understand what's happening.
Yeah, I want to.
And
Did
your
she get the
98
chance to like purchase stuff?
We did the auction.
Yeah,
You have 9,800 GP left.
I'm getting
Cameron.
some parchment. I'm gonna put some spells in my book. Heck yes.
Yeah, can Edith have her turn at the auction that we had last week?
she certainly can. So, yeah, did you give her cut of the money?
9,800 GP after we paid the loan off of the Troll Skull.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, I'm rich. Wow.
And so,
We can retire. Fuck the game. Oh,
I don't remember what I said. Did I say 2 or 3 rolls? I thought I said 2.
I know I did 2, but that was enough money. I didn't want to spend more, and so I didn't ask again. Maybe someone else did more. I don't remember.
Yeah, I blew my whole wad on one roll, I think. So, or no, I did two.
So yeah, you get 2 rolls.
Are they percentage or D20? Or what?
They are percentage to see what item is up for auction.
Okay, cool. 17.
Interesting. So this is probably going to be a little spendy. Let's find out. So up for auction, starting at 12,000 credits or 12,000 gold pieces, is a dagger. Plus 1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. It is a luck blade. While the dagger is on your person, you gain a +1 bonus to saving throws as well. If the dagger is on your person, you can call on its luck. No action required to re-roll 1 attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you dislike. You must use the second roll. This property can't be used again until the next dawn. This is a legendary item that does require attunement. The dagger also has 1d4 -1 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge and cast the wish spell from it. This property can't be used again until the next dawn. The dagger loses this property if it has no charges. Right. So that is up.
Wait, Wish, isn't that the one that like lets you resurrect a person?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. A wish spell. Wish is the most powerful spell available in pretty much any game. But
I have 9,800 credits or whatever.
Gold
And this
pieces.
is 12, yeah, and this is 12,000. So
We chipped in for Galadorn, and a daily wish, well, 3 wishes a week safely is pretty significant.
Well, it does not recharge those wishes. It has 1d4 minus 1, and I mean we can. Let's just find out.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's almost game ruining. You know.
That's
like,
what makes it fun.
That's why you have to be poured in it. You know.
Ooh, Max.
It has 3 wishes.
God damn it! Like a genie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna spend everything I own on the luck dagger.
Okay.
Oh well.
All right.
Do one more and see what else up for auction. 94.
Okay. Well, this is another one that could be potentially expensive. Up for sale for 5,000 gold pieces is a ring of 3 wishes.
The fuck?
Right. Evidently the dice really want you to have wishes. Where did it?
Besides resurrection, what else awesome can a wish do?
A wish can basically do anything, but the key to the wish spell is that you have to be very, very careful when you word it, because if you misword it, then of course, you know.
So it's like a genie. Bring him back to life. Okay, he's back to life, but he's still in his coffin.
Right, yeah, shit like that.
And isn't there a thing about the more elaborate and crazy the wish is, the more likely there's a backfire?
Well, there used to be. So yeah, you want to try and keep your when you make the wish, the key is to think about what you're saying, but also keep it, a sentence or two in length. Keep it simple, because the longer and more drawn out the wish is, the more there should be, and they don't even have a percentage in 5th edition, because God forbid.
The ring of attorney's fees.
Right, it's a ring of attorneys. Yes. So this ring is legendary. It does not require attunement. While wearing this ring, you can use an action to expend one of its 3 charges to cast the wish spell from it. The ring becomes non-magical when you use the last charge, and this is going up for 5,000 gold pieces.
That seems more worth it. I'll have 3 for like the whole game. So if you guys die, then
yeah, exactly. So I mean, like what Jeff just posted, that's the most basic iteration of wish, is that it will mimic or will replicate any other spell in the game. That's the most basic use of it.
It's 3 resurrections with no diamond, or it's 3 is Meteor Storm 8th or 9th. There's no consequence to making it a spell. There's not a chance that it goes bad. It's just that spell off the list with no downside.
Right. But most in my experience of playing the game over the last 45 years, in every iteration of D&D I have run into, it has been looked on that using a wish spell using a wish in that manner is almost a waste, because it's so powerful that it can do literally anything. So
I wish to be a god.
Well, yeah, there's one that could definitely backfire on you. Yeah, okay, you're a god, but you're not going to have a good time with it.
You're the god of something stupid. Probably.
Yeah, that would be my luck. You're like, oh, okay, so
I'm the god of Karens. I have to deal with Karens all day.
yes, or the patron god of toilet plumbers, or something stupid.
Like Saint Anthony has to help people find their keys all day.
Right.
He's like, what did I do to deserve?
Yes.
I'll pay five. I'll pay 5,000 for that though. I'll have 3 wishes in case any of you die hilariously. I'll resurrect you. Make it good.
Well, that means I mean, that means potentially you'll end the game with 3 wishes because it's really hard to kill players in 5th edition.
That's true.
I mean,
I will save it.
Well, you'd use it for your retirement years.
yes.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so I subtracted that from my total. I still have a lot of money. I can still buy a bunch of paper, and when I have like several hours, I can learn a bunch of spells and put them in the book. So.
Yeah, do that. You can do that now because you guys are kind of prepping, you know, to make your. I was going to say make your assault on Kolat Towers, but I don't know that that's necessarily the proper nomenclature.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get stuff out of my vehicle real fast.
Okay.
250.
So yeah, what I was talking about for the next campaign while we're waiting for Jeff, you know, I was debating, you know, possibly looking at castles and crusades, and I decided against it. I decided we're going to stay the course and stay with old school essentials. I love that game. I like the simplicity of it, and don't get me wrong. I like castles and crusades too, but my original reason for doing the new campaign with Old School Essentials was because, in my opinion, 5th edition is a screw up. I mean, on multiple levels, but its biggest mistake is that it has to codify rules for everything, and when you do that, you actually limit your players. So you know, there's less imagination that the players are using because the first thought is, well, how can I do what I want to do and make it fit into this framework of the rules? And that sucks. I don't like that. So I'm going to stay the course with OSE and pulled the trigger. The hard copy books are on their way. They should be here next Friday, or no, this Friday, the 20th. So. That's the plan. So if I figured like our first session for that campaign, we'll make characters together because you know, it's quick, simple, and easy, and we'll definitely end up playing that game or that day because it, you know, old school D&D takes if it takes you 15 minutes to create a character, it's probably because you got hung up on what you want to name him. I mean that's the most difficult part of it. So, shit, we might make 2 characters each. You know, just have one hanging on in the back. Yeah.
So that's after this campaign?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
that's my plan. So yeah, like I said, well, and I've got character sheets that are form fillable. If you want to keep them in PDF and you know print is dead, you don't want to print it out. Yeah, I get that. So yeah, you can just keep it on your phone or on your computer or however you want to do it. Or you can print it out, however, whatever, I don't care. And Roll20 actually has the Old School Essentials character sheet in it, so you can do it that way too. That way I know Jeff likes to make macros and scripts and everything, and that is a 100% can be done. So yeah, you can write down your spells, and I think Jeff was saying that Impa King, you got to pick some new spells and whatnot. So Kolat Towers is in the southern ward, down the Way of the Dragon, south from the yawning, from the yawning portal, or southeast from the yawning portal. And the only, I mean, you know that Kolat Towers is these twin towers that have been there for a very, very long time, hundreds of years, I want to say, maybe even longer than that, maybe 1,000. I don't know. They've been there a long time. And one of the things that the locals bring up is that nobody can approach the towers because there is this invisible barrier around them. And the weather this time of year is, you're starting to see the first snowfalls in Waterdeep. The port, the dock ward is getting ready to essentially lock down for the winter season, and they're pretty much going forward from this point. The people of Waterdeep, it seems like there is a festival or party or something going on almost every night. Waterdeep really has a huge holiday season. So the winter, because there's they can't go north because the passes are frozen. They could probably go south, but the high road is rather treacherous until you get pretty far south of Daggerford, and the port is closed because of ice flows and whatnot and the storms, and so people have nothing to do but sit around, eat, and drink. So a lot like us from about Thanksgiving through New Year's, or well, if you live in our neck of the woods, Thanksgiving through May Day.
Yeah, I saw something about like why cultures that live on like a mountain always have such crazy patterns in their clothes and stuff. They always have like crazy festival clothes, and yeah, it's because you're sitting around all the time. There's nothing to do but like knit or whatever.
Right. Yeah, look at some of the look at some of the native stuff that comes out of Peru. Talk about some vibrant colors, Oh my god, I saw a thing on Facebook. They were this company that sells alpaca wool blankets and stuff like that, hats and things. And this one blanket, it's advertised as being 100% baby alpaca wool. And this woman lost her shit. She's like, "That's so cruel! You're killing baby llama." I'm like, they don't have to kill the llama to get the wool off of it. That isn't how that works at all, lady. Oh my god.
Emu oil, on the other hand, I found out you do have to kill them for.
Yeah, you got to wring them out to get the oil.
Apparently.
Obviously. So yeah, this is what you know of Kolat Towers. Is there, and aside from writing down your spells in your spell books, or Jeff carousing with his genie to get his spells, is there anything else that you guys want to prep for before heading to Kolat Towers?
No, I want everyone to know that I learned Cure Wounds, though, so
Fantastic.
I can help. Yeah, because we found that scroll a long time ago and I didn't use it, so I copied it.
Can you do divine spells?
It said I could do. I thought. Let me see.
What kind of wizard are you?
I think.
Because if you can do divine spells, I got a bunch of spells you can or that I can teach you.
Shit, maybe I can't actually. It says Bard, Cleric, Druid, Paladin, Ranger, Artificer. So never mind.
Yeah.
God damn it. Son of a bitch. I got
It's really weird that they threw Artificer in there, because Artificers are technically arcane casters, but, whatever.
Okay, let me erase that and give myself gold back. I have a scroll of it, though, I guess, for emergencies. So that's good.
Yeah, so Sparkles is a cleric. You could give that scroll to Sparkles, and they can cast from that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving the scroll to Sparkles then. And let me give myself money. All right. Good deal.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you have a link for Galadorn, just so I have all the information on it? Because I think I missed some of the stuff when I was writing it down.
I do not have a link. Because that was all random roll.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then I think the only thing that I wasn't sure about was the attack thing, but I think that
it is.
That's why my attack is so much higher on it. I was like, why is my attack so high with this sword?
Well, it is a +3. So it is a artifact. It is a legendary artifact, sentient Holy Avenger sword, and it had one major boon to it, and like 3 minor boons, and one detrimental boon. And the detrimental boon was that you couldn't smell anymore.
Right.
But yeah,
So
it is.
No.
The type of wizardry I picked was conjuration, if anybody.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And it is +3 to attack and damage, and it does extra damage, I believe, to fiends and undead. Let me again.
That sounds right. Because it's holy.
Right. So yeah, it does an additional 2d10 radiant damage if you hit a fiend or an undead with it. And while you hold the drawn sword, it creates an aura in a 10-foot radius around you. You and all creatures friendly to you in the aura have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. So anybody who is within 10 feet of you gets advantage on saving throws for spells and magical effects.
Gotcha.
I figured I would give that, to somebody, and give you guys these items, since we're going to be closing up Waterdeep earlier than originally intended, and that way we can go out with a nuclear bang. Not to mention the fact that going up against Manchun in a 5th level max adventure seems suicide. Like, why did they even put that in there? But it should be suicide. It probably won't be in 5th edition.
I got my wish ring. I'm alright.
Yeah. I mean,
You can wish up an anti-magic field.
right. That's true. That is true. You could wish into another plane of existence. Although,
Wishman's a baby, so we can punch him in the face.
Yeah, that's right.
Forefather, yes.
Wish away all iterations of mentions. Like, you're gone.
yeah, that's in the last time I ran Dungeon of the Mad Mage, at the very end, that was how they beat Hallister, was with a wish spell. I mean, nothing that you can do to Hallister would ever be permanent, but it won the campaign. I mean, it got through the ending, So, you guys make your way to Kolat Towers, and this is essentially what you see with Kolat Towers. So, as the snow and sleet comes down, you can see this, force field around the towers. And as you approach the ground, you can see that there are a number of dead birds in the street. And the city of Waterdeep, they have an entire guild for street sweepers. And these guys go up and down the street. And there's a street sweeper. He's cleaning up, dead birds, and kind of cursing to himself that this is, you kind of overhear him bitching and moaning to the other. There's a pair of them. They're bitching and moaning to each other about how nearly daily they have to come out here and sweep up these dead birds, because without the rain and the sleet, you wouldn't be able to see this thing at all. And Is there a description of how far out it goes? Yeah, nothing can pass through the barrier, including air, fog, rain, or snow. Birds are especially prone to striking it. And the ground outside is it's regularly littered with tiny corpses of birds that broke their necks hitting it. It doesn't say how far out it goes, but it looks like it goes at least to. I was gonna say sidewalk, but I don't know that they really would have sidewalks per se. But yeah, it goes to the sidewalk. So the edge of Kolat Towers, what would be considered their property, and so the sidewalk and the street is just littered with these dead birds. And you don't know how far down underground it goes or anything like that.
Let's see.
Yes, that works. So this is Kolat Towers, and you guys.
Oh, that's right. It has the +1 d6 of hit points every turn. I forgot about that. I was like, what does that have?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you.
I forgot. I didn't put the hit points part. So I'm like, +1 d6 what?
Yeah, you heal d6 hit points every turn, which should be good since you tend to lead with your chin.
Sure do. Don't work on that.
Oh, and Gabe apologizes he wasn't able to make it. He had to. His wife is sick, and so he had to negotiate with her last night to play in Traveler, because she's sick, and he is watching his twins today. So
she said, "You can play one game. You can't play two."
Right? Exactly. Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna choose Traveler." I need to double check this to make sure the grid is turned off. I find the grid to be annoying. But it is great for sizing your tokens. I have been, for the new campaign, I have been playing around with their HDR lighting options, and allowing so that the tokens themselves, if you're carrying a torch or you have infravision or something like that, each token can see things differently. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. It might be too overly convoluted to really make it work. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'd really like to, because it is nifty. It's peachy keen. Okay, so this is you guys are kind of, I mean, we'll say that this is the street, and you see that so Kolat Towers has a 10-foot wall that goes around it. The barrier. You guys are standing at the edge of the barrier. There's a 10-foot wall that goes around it, and there is a door that leads into almost like a courtyard bailey area, and then there are these two towers that go up. And when you look up at the towers, way up, I want to say 3 stories, maybe 4, there is a skywalk that connects the two towers. And you notice that the southern tower is slightly smaller than the northern tower. So how?
It's a barrier, or it's like a gate?
Well, inside the barrier there is a 10-foot wall that goes around It creates a courtyard around the towers. But yeah, there is this invisible barrier here that you guys are standing in front of. So, how would you guys like to get through this barrier? Is the real
Somebody
question.
hit it very hard. Fix it.
Oh, first Sparkles will go up and touch it with their finger to see if there's any sort of negative effect off of it.
Nope, it's just it. So touching it with your finger, it is, it's hard as hard as stone, but you can tell by touching it that this force field, whatever it is paper thin. Ideas.
I will start digging with the skinny end of my quarterstaff, see if it goes below dirt.
Okay, so you start, kind of digging down into the dirt with the end of your quarterstaff, and how far are you going to dig down?
Again, it's kind of the skinny end, and so I figure I can scrape a narrow trench. I don't know, 1.5 feet, 3 feet. I don't know, is the ground stone or what?
So it goes to the edge of the property. So yeah, there's dirt there, and you find that the force field, if you're only going down, 1.5 feet, 2 feet, the force field does go that far underground.
I asked Galadorn for advice on how to deal with this weird force field and doesn't feel evil. I speak out loud in Celestial just to throw the team off.
So that's a good question. Does it feel evil? It does sense that there is evil. It doesn't sense that there's evil coming from the force field itself. The force field is just a force field. It is a wall, which, can't really have intentions of its own. It doesn't really have a knee, per se. But Galadorn doesn't really have many suggestions. It does suggest that perhaps maybe 1.5 to 2 feet is not far enough down. It does say that there, in its experience throughout the plains, that these kinds of magical barriers, they're not infinite.
I get out Shatter Spike and start digging.
Okay. How far are you digging?
I'm gonna go with just 10 feet. I'm a bugbear. This ain't nothing for me. I'm just digging between Shatter Spike, which just handles objects easily without issue.
Right.
Just going for it.
Okay.
We're digging for China.
I just have an image of this bugbear with a sword whacking away at the ground.
Yes. Well, the digging is fairly easy because it is, while it is cold, it is very wet. So the snow that's coming down, it's just starting to stick. And so the digging's not difficult. If you were to do this a week later, that would be a bitch. But you are able to dig down 10 feet, and you discover that at 10 feet, you can slip the tip of Shatter Spike under this force field.
I tell the team, guys, this thing only goes down about 10 feet. Do we want to do this digging for another 20 feet so we can get past easily underneath it?
If only we had dwarves.
That's good use of wish. I wish we didn't have to do this one.
Poof, done.
Yeah,
I get out 2 of my javelins and just go to it instead. All right, fine.
There is another option. Spellcasters make a Arcana check.
I'm a spellcaster technically.
No.
Got 11. Not
Nope.
good.
24.
22.
So Sparkles and Empiking, you kind of are mulling this over. You know that the force field only goes about 10 feet down. There's nothing. I mean, this force field has been in place. I mean, for years. Like since the last time Kolat Towers, and the information you know about Kolat Towers is that at one point it was owned by two brothers that were magic users of some kind, and they built the towers, and nobody knows what happened to them because they were kind of they were agoraphobic and they never really left the towers that much. But this force field's been in place forever, and so what you think with your Arcana check and knowing especially Sparkles, knowing that this force field is like paper thin, you think that if somebody were to dispel magic, it would open a 10-foot wide hole in this force field that would allow you to step through. But it would only be open for a short time, and then it would close again. Like you're estimating that it might only be open for like a minute, and then it'll close back up like nothing had happened. I don't know if anybody has dispel magic, but
I do not. So I don't
Neither
know.
does I.
Yeah, so
I
it looks
mean,
like we're digging.
yeah, you could dig. I mean, of course, yeah, you could wish dispel magic on it and do that and burn one of the wish spells. That really seems like an unfortunate waste, though. So you guys,
Let's dig a hole. Let's dig a hole.
right? Yeah. What you think this is? The
How
first
long
hole
would
I've
it
done?
take us to dig?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I am going to say a 10-foot. Or, so you're digging down. You're saying 20 feet.
Yeah, because if it goes down 10 feet, we have to get at least another 5 feet easily for us to crawl under it.
So there was that summer that I worked for Jeff cleaning out the the storm drains. I can tell you, digging is not that easy. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna cut that in half. I would say, I mean, digging a 20-foot hole. How
Well,
wide
you
are you
think-
just digging straight down, or are you digging? You know, is it just gonna be wide enough to fit? You know,
I mean,
Above
it's gotta
there.
be that we
Shoulders.
get down there and then be able to dig back up the other direction. We can't just dig down to the hole. We have to be able to dig out the other side too.
That's true. That is true.
Digging up seems more problematic than digging down.
You're talking about the dirt just keeps coming to us.
Well, I mean, if you like if you dig down, the reason why I asked, so digging a hole straight down would be easier than digging, you know, like a rectangle, for instance. Digging a hole straight down would be easier, and you don't you don't necessarily have to, you know, tunnel under and then dig up. You can get down 20 feet and then kind of do it at an angle. You don't have to be, you know, neat about it. Is kind of my point.
You know, if you can get the end of the sword underneath there, I can do gust as a cantrip over and over and just like blast dirt away towards the tower to help with the hole if anybody wants a break. So I could do that.
We'll say digging a 20-foot hole with 4 people. I'm going to say is probably going to be about 3.5 hours worth of work, and so it is now. There's another question. What time of day did you show up at Kolat Towers? Are you waiting till nightfall, or you just get there early in the morning?
Wait a minute. We just got like a shitload of gold and we're digging a hole. No, we're going to pay a bunch of people to dig it really fast.
That's
okay?
another option too. You're right near the dock ward where there's a whole bunch of out of work sailors that are doing nothing but drinking and they need cash to pay their bar tabs. So,
I feel like 10 gold, a gold a piece, they'd handle it. They'd handle it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
About
do it, man.
So okay, you could spend 10 gold and hire porters to do the work for you, and they start singing the song that the guys are digging from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and
Thank you.
good idea. So yeah, you hire these guys, you pay them a gold piece each, and they dig a hole, and they get you underneath the barrier, and you are in front of this door, and they all the porters that you hire, they're like, okay, see ya. They really don't want anything to do with going inside that barrier. They seemed fearful digging the other side and got out of there as fast as they could.
That's smart.
Thanks for the money. Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, digging down a 20-foot hole with 10 guys, that's what, 20, 30 minutes. That shouldn't take that long.
While they're doing that, Sparkles goes and finds a cup of coffee and comes back.
Okay. And so now you are in front of this 10-foot high wall. Where is my... Oh. The door... It is an iron-bound oak door, and it is locked.
Shatter spike.
Yeah, I mean, you could shatter spike it. I mean,
Do it.
go ahead and make an attack roll.
And it shatter spikes. So I think it's like advantage on anything to break stuff or something like that.
Correct. It does an automatic. You get advantage on the roll, and it does critical damage every time. So you do double damage.
That's right. Well, the first roll, I was like, my heart wasn't in it after watching them do all the digging. I only rolled like a 14.
So okay, your second roll. I just you're looking at the porters like, man, those guys look tired. This sucks. As he just stands there and watches.
All right, this time I got a 23.
Okay, roll your critical damage.
Critical damage. Where are you at? It's 10. Damn. Again, my heart must not have been in it. 9 plus 4, 13.
Okay, so Bug starts bashing on this door, and it takes him. I mean, there's nobody really. You don't see anybody posted as guards or anything of that nature. So it takes Bug probably another 4 or 5 hits at that rate, and he is able to bash down this door. And inside, you see this courtyard. Now, I'm trying to... It doesn't say. You find that there are 2 entrances to the towers. There is this bottom square section or rectangular section that is attached to the large tower. You see no way of entering the south tower at all. There's no doors at all. But there are 2 doors here, and there are 3 windows, and the windows are caked with grime. Like nobody's bothered to clean these. You know, more like the film that is produced from like smoke from fireplaces and whatnot. The inside of these windows are just filthy, and you can't really see in. But these doors are not locked. So which I mean, you can. It doesn't matter. you can go in both doors if you want. And so, in this room, the inside is there's no heat in here. There's no light sources. But you opening the door, there's. So again, what time of day did you come to the towers?
Midnight?
Night.
No? Okay, we just said opposites. I said in the morning and you said midnight. So
I don't know.
everybody vote, I guess.
Anybody?
Sparkles.
I
Bug.
can't stay up that late, you guys.
My bedtime's 5.
Not real.
I rolled, and I just said 50-50, and the dice said evening.
Okay. So you guys, it's getting later in the evening after dealing with the force field and whatnot, and moonlight kind of streams in. You can tell that this outer room is filled with crates that are stacked around the room, and one of the crates near this door to the north is open, and you can see that all of these crates are packed with meat. And they all have the seal of the Fellowship of Salters, Packers, and Joiners.
It's made of people.
Well, yeah. Well, that if the meat came from the Guild of Butchers, then that's a distinct possibility. But hey, at least the city of Waterdeep has a solution to their homeless crisis.
A very modest proposal.
Yes. If you have the right spices, you can cook anything. So yeah, there is a door to the north.
Shall we send the imp in and see what's in there?
I'll mage hand it open and they can go on in.
We'll send the imp.
Okay, so the imp goes in.
I fake like the imp's a drone bot, like I'm steering him. I've got my hands in front of me like they're on thumbsticks. RC control.
There are three people in here that are wearing black leather armor. There's a stone dining table, and the three of them are sitting at this table playing Three Dragon Ante. They obviously notice that the door opens. They wouldn't see the imp because he's invisible.
Yep.
But they can see through the door, and they see, you guys standing there. There are 8 moth-eaten banners hanging from the walls. Each bears an arcane sigil that represents a different one of the 8 schools of magic. This one is a woman. And then there's 2 guys that are playing cards at this table. I need this. Just in case. When you open the door, the woman yells back, "Hey, in or out? Shut the door if you're going to come in. You're going to let out all the heat."
They basically don't care. They're like, just get on with it, whatever you're doing.
Well, one of the guys sitting at the table says, looks up and goes, "Oh, you must be new recruits. We haven't seen you guys before."
I say, not unless you're clairvoyant, and I slap my knee like it's a great joke.
Oh, gee. These guys aren't really the quickest turd in the bowl, so they might actually think that's funny.
So they may just waltz past him, they won't give a shit.
Yeah, the 2 guys start laughing, and the The woman looks at you with this like, this stupid look on her face, like maybe she didn't understand the joke. And
it's not funny if you don't get it.
Right? Yeah, she's like, I don't get it. And so they're like she's like, come on, get in here. You're gonna let out all the heat. And this room you can feel is considerably warmer than the outer room, and you can smell. You can smell the delicious sense of stew and meat cooking coming. It smells like it's coming from this door.
Let's go right through there then.
Sure.
Okay. So in this room, this is the kitchen. There's a portly halfling standing atop a stool, and he's cooking at an iron potbelly stove. There's a green ghostly hand that floats in the air above a trellis table, and it's holding a knife and cutting carrots and celery. And there is a staircase here that curves and goes up to the next floor. Let's see here.
Let's go up.
He is not as dumb as the other guys, and he says he sees you walk in and immediately yells out, "Guards! There's intruders!" And the guys that are playing cards are like, "Wait, what?" And
we're not intruders. We're here with OSHA. We're doing our yearly inspection.
Everybody can roll initiative.
Yeah. Bug, you still got advantage.
Yeah, I know. That was the sad thing, is even with the advantage.
All right. And he, what is he? Yeah. He's one of them. Like that did a whole lot again. All right. All right.
You're still first, Bug.
How in the hell did that happen? Why am I in the back of the party?
Right. I mean, with Empa King and Edith going, hey, let's just open this door. So, Bug, these three stand up from their dining table, the stone table that they're playing cards on, and reach for their weapons. What would you like to do?
I will swing Galadorn at the closest one and hopefully dissuade the others. But like, are you sure you want to do this?
So you're gonna swing on the girl, Sidra.
She's closest. That's who's getting it.
All right. Make your attack.
Have you done the increased math for Galadorn? Because it's +3. I don't want you to miss opportunities for you to hit.
Hey, what now here?
Galadorn is a +3 weapon, which means you have more to hit and more damage.
Yes. That's why I'm using Galadorn instead of the other one.
Oh, right. And what level are you guys?
6.
Did your... Well, let me double check that.
I took 5th level on Paladin, so I do have my extra attack now.
Nice. Good idea. Let's see here. 6th level. You still have a +3 proficiency. Okay.
Yes. So with a strength of 3 and the +3 and the proficiency, it should be a +9 on the attack roll, right?
Nice. Yep.
Sounds right.
So a 28 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty.
Cleave him in twain.
9 plus 6, 15. 15 plus my 2d6 because I haven't gone yet. 15, 23. Should I throw a smite on that so early?
She can take 23 for sure. So you might want to throw a smite on it.
Alright, smite it is then. Smite me, you smiting smiter. Oof. Oh, you son of a bitch. I wish I hadn't.
What, you roll a 1?
25.
25. Well,
Roll 2 ones.
that still stings greatly. You got another attack.
Oh, yeah, I do. Shit.
And you still have a bonus action, so I mean, you could throw a smite spell on it too.
I could. Well, I got a nat 20 that time.
Well, that's double damage.
Wouldn't worry about a smite with that.
Right.
That's hoping the roll for damage goes well in the first place, though.
Right.
All right. So that's 9. So that's 18 for the damage then. Oh wait, no. Plus the 18 plus 12, 30. 30 for the damage.
Oof. Ow. Okay. She's not looking healthy. And Galadorn is telepathically telling you that, yeah, this is the stench of evil. It says that basically the whole place reeks of it.
I mean, like I really want to finish her off with my one swing, but that means using another smite.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have a whole lot left.
Go ahead.
All right, I guess I'll burn another.
An enemy that can't hurt you is better than 2 enemies that can.
That is true.
All righty, I guess I'll burn another smite then. That's better. Plus 6, plus 7, plus 13.
Yikes. Whoop.
Is that enough to drop her?
Yes. She drops. With Galadorn, you see Bug just kind of make 2 quick swipes and slice her open. The Zentarim thugs are like, hey, that was our boss, and he is not here.
Too bad I can't make an intimidate check now. Somebody else make an intimidate check.
Hey, man, look how strong he is.
One thug is going to make 2 attacks on Bug with a mace. First attack. 12, I think, probably misses you.
I laugh at the attack.
Second attack. 19 to hit.
I laugh again. Are you even trying?
Oh, so he misses with a 19, huh? All right. Okay.
I would like to look at them and just go, are you sure you want this fight?
The other thug is going to make 2 swings on Sparkles. Soft 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits a sparkle.
For 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And a 10 probably misses you.
Yes, 10 does miss.
Damn fairies. Need to resize.
Saying that might demonetize you. I'm not sure.
I know. Right. Yes. No shit, right? Emperor King, what would you like to do? Manifret Cherryport, the halfling cook, who's clearly some kind of magic user. He's the one who called out for the guards. He's clearly hostile.
I will Hexer. Con checks.
Okay.
Then I will Eldritchy Dritchy. So the soft 21 hit.
Yes. Hold on. I want to say yes. Yes, it does.
Plus the Hex. 20 points. Second one.
Ouch. Okay.
27.
Yep, that hits.
Ooh, good rolls. Another 20.
Manifret is no more.
And then I will move 30 feet straight up the wall.
Okay. All right. So you're not even using the stairs. You're just walking up the wall.
For now, until someone comes down the stairs or someone comes out the door.
Okay. Well, the wall. I don't think it's 30 feet high. Yeah, it's about 15 feet. So I mean, you can go 15 feet to the ceiling.
Okay.
Sparkles of the Twilight. What would you like to do?
She will pull her rapier and just try to poke him.
Okay.
Check my math real quick. 19 to hit.
I want to say that hits, and indeed it does.
Where's my 8 damage.
All right. Anything else?
No, I don't see you burning any major spell slots at this point.
Okay. All right. Edith, what would you like to do? I mean, you've got a clear shot at this guy's ass.
Is it just one guy left?
There's two. One is on bug and one is attacking Sparkles.
And did you guys say we were 6th level?
Yep.
Okay, I think I missed that. So I spent
that's
the last...
right. I keep forgetting you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys did get 6th level.
Okay. All right. So I was doing that for a minute. And then let me see what spells I want to use. These guys are pretty easy then so far, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is the dumb-looking girl around?
She's dead.
She's dead?
Yeah, Bug just opened her right up. Like he was checking the mail.
I'm going to try... Let's see. This is... Yeah,
how dare someone win that billion?
I'll do Mind Sliver since it's an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Okay, he will make an Yeah, that's not going to go well for him. Hey, he got an 18.
God damn it. Really? What a jerk. Well, I did, effectively nothing then. That sucks. I'll step out of the way.
So with Mind Sliver, he doesn't even take half damage?
I don't think so.
Save for or nothing.
I'm pretty sure because it's like a cantrip, so it's like not that badass.
Is that a Xanathar spell? I bet it is.
I think it's Tasha.
Is it Tasha's?
I think so, yeah.
I noticed that a lot of the spells in Tasha's are save or nothing, which I thought was.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird.
I should have done something different. Oh well, can't do much about that. Let's see. Yeah, so if I had succeeded, it would subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw.
Ooh.
But yeah. Oh well. Okay, I'll make that. Sorry, gang.
Oh, okay. All right. We are back to Bug. Here I go killing again.
I'm gonna kill. I was like, "What's that 18 for?"
That was his saving throw.
Oh, okay. Bug. Which one?
Don't get squirrely. It's okay.
I was like, "What you rolling for, man? What you doing over there?"
Start calling him Squirrely Dan.
Squirrely Dan.
All right. I will make my attack on. Have either of them taken damage?
The one in front of Sparkles has taken damage. She poked him.
All right.
Stabby pokey move.
That's one I'll go for. 19 to hit.
That hits.
Sweet. Where are you? There you go. For 13.
Okay. He's still standing.
Second attack. 19 again.
That's another hit.
Oof, not so good. 9 damage that time.
Okay, so this guy is bleeding profusely, and the from the rapier wound, you notice that the blood is very black, very dark. Probably.
Are they undead?
No, but you know that from that kind of wound, I mean, unless he goes and sees the clerics fairly soon, he will probably be dead by morning.
Gotcha.
Things aren't looking good for him. Zentrum thugs. I think this guy. Well, I mean, I was going to say he might take the disengage action, but the reality is that these guys know that running away is probably almost as deadly.
Lethal.
It's almost as lethal to them in the end as just fighting it out, and this is a good day to die. So he is going to. He's going to make one attack on Sparkles and one attack on Bug. So on Sparkles, 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
For three points of bludgeoning damage. And on...
Look at him just like, ow. Just really, ow.
And he misses Bug. The other guy's going to make 2 attacks on Bug. Miss with an 11. Oh, shit. And miss with a 9. I don't know. I'm starting to say fuck these dice. You know what? I don't like that color. It's probably the color that's causing me a problem. There we go. Ember King, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move along the ceiling so I can hit the southern of the two guys, which to me seems like there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You got.
So I'm hanging upside down. I'll move my hex to him.
Okay. So he's now shit canned for con.
Yes. 17 hit?
Yes.
Oh, he's not going to do well. 16 points.
Okay.
Second one?
Yep.
22.
Yes.
For 17 again.
Okay. And so this guy has 2 gaping holes in his chest, and he just collapses.
Done.
Sparkles.
I will take a poke at him.
Go for it.
It's going to be a soft 20.
Definitely hits.
And I forgot that when I leveled up, I have my fairies helping me now.
Yes.
My little pixies, which add an extra. Where are they? 1d6 damage. A 12 damage.
So this guy doesn't have to worry about bleeding out in the morning because you just kill him. All right. Stab him right through the sternum, and he goes down. I'm thinking that for the new campaign, there's no critical hit mechanic. I'm thinking that on a nat 20, it's just going to do max damage. But is what we'll go with. And the reason why there's no, in old D&D there was no critical, because 18, 19, and 20 for certain weapons did special things. Like that's what triggered Vorpal, that's what triggered slicing, things like that. But I think that a nat 20 should be celebrated, and so I'll just say max damage on that. So yeah, you put an end to these 4 guys. And
Bug, did you take any damage?
Nope.
Empa King, Edith?
Nope.
yeah, I don't think they touched any of you.
I got poked.
Manifred, well, you got poked. Manifred didn't even get to go.
Do you want some healing sparkles, or you're good?
Oh no, I'm fine.
I could do a lay on hands and be like, there you go, buddy. There you go.
Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything in. Oh, there is. Who wants to make a investigation check?
Me, I got like +5.
Good. How'd the M help you?
God damn it. Okay, I got, all right. I can do it with advantage. Good. Then that's a soft 20. All right.
Okay, between these 2 rooms, Edith, you find 100 gold pieces worth of silverware on the table in the dining area. And you also find in the kitchen, the cupboard holds a dozen jars of herbs and spices. Among them is a flask labeled Assassin's Blood, which Sparkles, you can make a Arcana check.
Arcana? Let's get to that.
Either Arcana or Medicine, either one.
That's going to be an 18.
So you know that Assassin's Blood is a fairly potent poison, and there appears to be 6 doses of this in this jar. And hold on.
Who wants to dip their weapons in? Line up.
Let me
I
look
think
up.
that's good for Bug.
I don't. Well, let me look it up.
Bug will not be dipping his blade, holy blade, into poison.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it might get a little irritated with that. 257. been a while since
Tal'Dorei starts yelling in my head. Don't even fucking think about it.
Right, yeah. Get that shit off me. Here we go.
Like the Pope's never used poison on anybody.
So dipping a weapon in assassin's blood won't work because it is a poison that needs to be ingested.
You gotta stab the tongue.
That sounds like something useful to give to the imp.
So assassin's blood.
Put in somebody's drink.
Assassin's blood.
Yeah.
A creature subjected to this poison must make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d12 poison damage and is poisoned for 24 hours. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage and isn't poisoned. Well, poisons are kind of wimpy in 5e, but yeah, so it could be, it's only a DC 10 con save, and it could be the poisoned condition, plus they take a d12 of damage, but aside from that...
Sounds like food poisoning.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
You could sabotage a competitive bar with it.
Well, I mean, I find it a little concerning that they have it in the kitchen of their own headquarters. I mean...
Yeah.
That's a little
I
weird.
thought it was mesquite.
We do a lot of cooking for the homeless.
Sounds like some flowers in the attic shit.
Yeah, on Sundays we have a soup kitchen, and that's when the assassin's blood really comes into play. So yeah, the only thing that you're seeing to continue is this the semicircular staircase that leads up to the next floor.
Up we go.
Okay.
Yep.
That puts you... Where does... Oh, I see. Some of these maps, man. Okay, so... Wait, that's only 3 of you. Where did Edith go?
I used Blink. I don't fucking know.
Right. Yeah. All right. Hold on here. I might have accidentally deleted her. Possibly. Copy.
I drank the poison.
Right. Right.
Or Edith. Did you confuse it with your Metamucil?
Yeah.
Right. Just stir that in. Trust me, you'll be on the pot.
But not the pot.
Right. Yeah.
Are you on the pot? Have you been doing the pot?
You think it's cool to do pot?
Yeah, actually.
You eat it.
I've been doing pot since before it was cool.
Hold on, I've got a Windows sizing issue. There we go. Okay. And let me grab another Edith. There we go. So you come up into this room, and it appears to be a reading room. And sitting in the reading room is a... There it is. There's a half-orc sitting in the corner reading a book. And you guys come up the stairs, so are you attempting to... Are you stealthing up the stairs? Are you just bouncing up the stairs?
Looks like we waltzed right in. That seems like what happened there.
I'd like to walk up the stairs going, "It's a good day to kill an evil thing." Kill evil things.
So
I'll
this is
just walk right up the wall from the stairs.
okay.
Sparkles will hang towards the back of the party, but she would like to stealth. She's gonna let the rest of the party draw the attention.
So this is Yorn the Terror, and it's not like you at this point you at least I would think that Sparkles and Bug are at least coated in the blood and guts of their assailants since they went melee. So it's not like you guys can pretend to be anything other than what you are. And Yorn notes this, and he seems indifferent to it. He just says,
What's he reading?
he is reading.
Orcs Illustrated. Okay, I didn't
Orcs
think-
gone wild.
He's actually reading Volo's Guide to Monsters, and you can see that. I mean, if you look at, you can see that his copy is a signed. It is a signed copy from Volo that says, "I to Yorn, I hope you find the chapter on orcs illuminating."
He is an orc. You'd know all that. I'm like, you know Polo.
But yeah, Yorn, he seems rather indifferent as far as whether or not you are intruders. He just doesn't really seem to care. And he tells you that he says, "Oh well, if you're looking to head up the towers, you'll want to go through the east door." He says the apprentices usually stay in the south door, but we don't really have any apprentices at this point, or the ones that we did have moved on. But you know, if you're looking to go further up the tower, you know, you'll want the east door.
Sparkles will go up to him and pull out her copy of Volo's guide that is signed and be like, "Look, I have a signed copy too."
He looks at your copy and he says, "Oh yeah, Volo's. I really like reading his stuff."
Oh, he's the best.
Polo Bros.
You can all make insight checks.
This is bound to go good. Oh wow.
Does my sword get to make these checks too?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Cool.
I only
Right.
got
For the sword,
I
it's
got
just
6.
you got a 6. Yeah, for
I'm
the sword,
changing dice.
for the for the sword, it's just a wisdom check. So
I rolled a crit
Well, I
20 with a
have
-3.
So you guys generally get the feeling that, yeah, this is just a job for Yorn the Terror. But the reality is that Yorn's main interest is looking out for Yorn. So
Yorn sees us and goes, "Yeah, not worth it."
yeah, I mean, if you were a direct threat to Yorn, that would be different. But if you're not, you know, running around like Lancelot from Monty Python, he doesn't. Yeah. Head on up if you want. So you've got the east door where he tells you we'll head further up the tower, and then there's the south door.
Will he tell us what's in the south door?
So he told you that the south door is usually the room where the apprentices stay, but they don't have any right now. And he said they did have some, but it appeared they went somewhere, and he hasn't seen them for quite some time.
Is that the way over to the other tower that doesn't have any doors?
Yeah, he tells you that. Yeah, I mean, if you ask him that, he tells you that there is a rather precarious walkway that goes between the towers through the east door.
I kind of want to check that out if anybody else wants to before we go the rest of the way. I just wanted to see what's in that building that we can't enter any other way.
Okay.
Sparkles will follow. Come on, Grandma.
I just imagine us all calling Edith ma'am at every opportunity.
Another time, it would have been a good fight.
So, in here, you're on this ledge. You can see up above, and there's another ledge over here, but there's no stairs to get to that ledge. You can see up above in the tower that there is a door, but there's no stairs here for you to climb to go to the door. You just see that there's a door set in the wall and empty space between you and it. Down below you, you can see that there is what looks like a library down below you. And then over here, there is a door that leads, you would assume, it's in the wall of the tower. You would assume that it leads out to the skywalk that goes to the other tower.
I feel like if someone can mage hand the door, then it'd be like a super easy, just like jump over.
I can mage hand the door. I can use mage hand to open the door with my pixies.
So which door are you doing the door to the door at the top?
The skybridgey one, I thought.
Okay.
That's what I want to know. Which
one's the skybridgey one?
Okay. So the skybridge, yeah, you mage hand open the door, and there is a wooden bridge that connects the two towers, and it is 20 feet above the ground. It is just open. There's no railings. The Union's going to have a fit, but and it leads over to a like a wood scaffolding walkway around the south tower, and there is just a simple door set in that tower.
Sparkles will fly out onto the ledge and take a look around.
Okay. Yeah, you are 20 feet above. You don't have to worry about the snow and sleet that seems to be coming down. You can look up, and you can see where the snow and sleet is pounding against or landing on the invisible force field that is covering the towers. But there's no wind. But outside this, it looks like the weather has picked up, and it looks rather uncomfortable out there.
Can the rest of you guys make it, or do I need to set up the grappling hook and rope for you to get over?
If I jump to the door, can I just like use my maul or whatever to kind of like help them across? It's like barely 10 feet.
I can just stand on the wall and give people a handhold over.
That's true.
There
That makes
might
sense.
not be anything in there. We could just open the door and look across first, like have Sparkles open it. That's what I think we should do. Because what if it's like a storage closet or something?
Sure.
Oh.
So I'm
like
going down here and checking out this door.
Yeah, that'd be super.
Okay. Yeah, in my home game, they went to all the trouble to get into a tower, only to find out that basically it was the dump pit, and so they were just throwing broken furniture and buckets of feces and everything down into the bottom. And of course, Shannon Motter's character failed her dex save and fell into the pile of shit at the bottom of the tower. That was quite hilarious. I think she contracted sewer rot from that. Yeah.
Damn.
Always a good time. So you open, Sparkles, you open, and there is a landing here that is a 10-foot square, and there are two staircases. One descends 20 feet down below, and one ascends 20 feet up to another door. And you can see over here, there is a narrow ledge that is built into the wall that has a life-size statue of a bearded human wizard standing atop it. The wizard looks angry and is leveling a stone wand at the door, at the door that you just opened.
I holler back to Yorn. What's with the statue, and should we go up or down?
Yorn says, I don't really know. I haven't been into that room or into that tower. There's really, I haven't had any interest yet. I might go in there, but let me know if you find anything interesting.
Send that imp in. What are we waiting for?
Okay, I'll send the imp in. I'll have him go down first.
Okay, so the second that, even invisible, the second the imp stands on the landing, the statue levitates 1 foot into the air, and you hear, "I am Durlock Kolat, the great wizard and master of this tower. How dare you invade my home? Leave at once or be destroyed by magic beyond your comprehension." And the statue just continues to levitate. That's all it does.
I probably just hear the imp in our telepathic lip. Oh, fuck!
Right?
I didn't sign up for this.
And so
He's not destroyed. I don't know if anything happens. Is there anything else in there? That's it? Is the statue? Does the imp see anything good?
So you're sending the imp downstairs?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, so the imp. What is downstairs? Oh, it goes down to. So, yes, at the bottom, the imp finds that this is a garbage-filled room. Ankle-deep refuse fills the chamber. There are black scorch marks that stretch from floor to ceiling all along the walls and the stairs, which lead back up to the landing. And it looks like people are just throwing garbage down into the bottom of this tower. But the imp can clearly see that there are scorch marks all along the walls, like something exploded in here.
Okay, then I'll have him go up.
Okay. Going up. So he opens this room, and there are a tall oak bookshelf contains a few scattered books, but mostly it's bare. Above the bookshelf hangs a beautifully crafted sign that reads Alcidor in common.
Okay, well, damn.
Did you want the imp to go over the books, or?
Maybe there's
he could, or when we get up there, I try and mainly use him as eyes. He's not a combatant, and
yeah, he would die rather quickly, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I can resummon, but my interest is not in having a disposable imp.
Disposable imps are the best, but they're not very cost effective.
Well, it might not even be worth going in there. Can you see the titles of the books to see if it's like... Because if they're not any good, then we're probably just going to skip the tower, right?
We're over here, right?
Yeah, well, the imp went up here.
Yep.
To this door.
Is there anything else in the room? Is it the whole floor or what?
That's the whole floor.
Oh.
Yeah. So are the books worthless, or any of them good?
So the imp looks over the books, and they are all rather mundane titles. You know, history of open lords of Waterdeep and things of that nature. They're all rather mundane.
All right. Well, let's get out of here then, or not dough, I guess. That's my vote.
So Bug, Edith, and Empa King, make a perception check.
Yeah, not me.
17.
Okay.
Nope. Bug was too focused on other things.
So Edith, you're like, well, that, you know, Empa King tells you what he sees with the amp, and you're kind of disappointed that there aren't better books in that tower. And you're kind of, you know, looking around over on this ledge that there's no easy way to get to. There are 2 chests over there.
Oh. Hey, Sparkles. Fly over.
You guys calling?
There's some
Yeah.
chests to go look at. And
I can
better
get
than-
over there too if we need to carry more.
I can get over there.
Okay.
Sparkles will examine the chest.
So there is a chest here, and there is a chest here.
You go ahead.
Which chest do you want to examine?
Start with the left one.
Okay. I like it when you guys start with the left one. You open the chest. You go to open the chest, and you discover that it is a mimic.
Run away, run away.
Which you are.
Oh no!
You are surprised. So he's gonna get a free attack. But everybody, can you guys see yourselves on the initiative?
Nope.
No.
Okay. I'll re-add you.
Every time we change floors, it takes us away.
Every time you change, every time you change maps, because, you know, roll 20. There you go. Mimics. I don't use mimics very often, and that is a terrible shame. It's such an iconic monster.
Right? Like, damn near any game that has a treasure chest of some kind.
Yeah, there needs to be a
Have a
mimic at least once. That's better.
Even Pokemon has a mimic-like creature.
Yeah. Yeah, blue's my color.
But it's not called Mimic.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's like because Mind Flayers and Beholders are actually copyright IP material for D&D. So in Old School Essentials, they're called Eyes of Terror or Mind Lasher. You know. Sparkles, what'd you get?
Oh. Good. I was too surprised. Didn't.
We could run out and make this what's-his-face the terrorist problem.
Yeah. So the Mimic gets a surprise attack on Sparkles and gets a 15 for a bite attack. Actually, no. It's going to make a pseudopod attack. And I assume 15 hits you.
15 is the magic number.
Okay. You take whoop-de-doo. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, but you are now. Let's see here. The Mimic adheres to anything that touches it, a huge or smaller creature, adhered to the mimic is also grappled by it. So on your turn, you can make an escape DC 13. Ability checks made to escape this grapple have disadvantage. So you're stuck to the mimic now. Bug,
Well, that should sound terrible.
what would you like to do? I'm sure that Sparkles lets out a yelp, and you see that Sparkles is now stuck to the mimic.
It's trying to eat me.
Okay. I will jump over there to assist. I will do a running jump. This little 10-foot jump, that should be easy enough, right?
Yeah, you can jump that.
You're not gonna make me roll for it?
With your arms.
Yeah, make an athletic strength check.
$15.
Yeah. So you
Cool.
jump across and you get over there and you can make your attack.
Is this thing considered an evil or fiend or something?
It's considered neutral, and it is not a fiend. It is a monstrosity.
Ah, monstrosity. See, I know what undead is. I can never figure out what fiends are, to be honest.
Fiends are generally always going to be either devils or demons of some kind. There are a couple that don't really fall into that category, but they're always going to either be a devil or a demon.
Okay. Does a 13 hit it?
It does.
Sweet. Figured it didn't have a very high hit AC.
Yeah, but they can soak up damage, though.
16 damage on the first attack.
Okay. Your next attack.
Well, the 13 hit it. This one definitely hit it.
Yeah.
Rolled a 19. Not even bother adding numbers.
Right. I don't need to do math.
11 points of damage.
Okay. All right. The mimic has been stung by Galadorn. Impiking, what would you like to do?
I will move my hex to it.
Okay.
I would say I jumped here, though, to maintain my range of, like, the 10 feet.
That's right. Yep, that's fine.
And I will blasty blast it.
Okay.
22 to hit.
That hits.
Plus, so 19 points.
Okay, your next blast.
Icky. Crit fail.
Oh.
Did I just get shot in the ass?
Maybe.
Quite possibly. Sparkles, make a dex save. At disadvantage. Because you're stuck to the mimic.
Disadvantage is a 10.
Okay, so that you do make your dex save, and the Eldritch Blast just narrowly misses, hitting you in the ass. I'm sure Sparkles looks over his shoulder at Empicking like, what the fuck, dude?
I got enough problems.
You just see Empicking like this.
Right? With one eye closed, you know? Like a drunk at the shooting gallery. The mimic, since you are grappled, is going to attempt to bite you with advantage. Well, he gets another roll, thank God for that. 17 to hit. For...
Come on, what happened to the mimic on his crit fail?
Well, he didn't crit fail because he had advantage.
Oh, I had advantage. That's right.
For... Ouch. 11 points of piercing damage. And 4 points of acid damage. Man, mimics suck.
Get off me, you overgrown shoebox.
Sparkles!
You don't have Yeezys inside.
Well, Sparkles, you can... your escape DC is DC 13, athletic strength. You can. I mean, it's at disadvantage. I suppose you could make an attack at disadvantage if you wanted to. I mean, the shitty thing is because he's got advantage. He's got advantage on you because you're stuck to him. So, I mean, if you make the escape and get some distance on him, that might be better for you.
I'm gonna try a new spell. I'm gonna enlarge myself.
Okay.
Big sparkles.
So you are small currently, correct?
Yes, so at least be medium.
So adhesive works on a huge or smaller creature. So I mean, enlarge may not. I mean, aside from increasing your damage,
that's true. Yeah,
it's not going to unstick you.
All right, then I'll just try to break free again.
Okay.
Disadvantage 13, you say?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Disadvantage at 18.
Okay. So Sparkles is no longer stuck to the mimic. You can move, and of course you do have a bonus action.
Yeah, nothing really bonusy. But yeah, Sparkles will back away.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
In flight.
All right. Edith, what would you like to do?
I think I should witch bolt it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay. I only got an 11 on my attack roll.
So that is a narrow miss.
Fuck! Alright. I missed.
I mean, it looks cool, but, these lightning bolts are all striking around the mimic.
Alright. I did my best.
It probably shit its chest, but...
That's the biggest weakness of Witch Bolt, is it requires a hit roll from a wizard.
Right. Yeah, but if you can get it, that's great, because it just continues, as long as you keep concentrating, it just continues to do damage. Bug, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll hit the mimic again.
All right.
It seems to be the thing. No sense in wasting a spell spot on something I can bash or slash.
That is true. Slicey slice.
I was like, too bad that Shadow Spike doesn't do extra damage against a mimic. You think that would be like one of those random...
Right? Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, it's appearing to be an object. I mean...
That can be your mimic check for all objects. Hit it with Shadow Spike.
Smack it with Shadow Spike. Right.
It didn't bust. Damn it.
It squished. It didn't break.
15 to hit.
That is a hit.
Way more. But yeah.
Yeah, that gets him.
And for damage, 11.
Ooh, your next attack. You could put the mimic down.
I'm really happy that, this sword has that +6 thing, because even when I roll bad, I get like some decent damage out of it.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, that's how some of the big bads are. It's like, oh, well, I got a 24 to hit, and, he rolled a 3.
It's like, rolled a 3, but my attack is +12.
Yeah. Well, since 3rd edition, that's kind of been one of my gripes, is that the rolls, even the to hit rolls, but it's all across the board. everything is ballooned into these gigantic numbers. I'm like, it's just, why do we need to have these huge numbers? In the old days, if you were fighting a creature that had over 100 hit points, that was, look out, you're probably in trouble. But now, he's a second level creature. He's got 95 hit points. What the fuck?
They made it so much harder to die, so they had to give the things more hit points so the battles last longer.
Exactly.
10 damage, by the way.
Okay, the mimic is no more. And so, there is now just one chest sitting here.
I hit it with Shatter Spike.
Sparkles flies over and kicks the dead mimic.
I feel like mimics should throw up coins when they die.
Yeah, I actually checked in some previous versions that was a thing. And so I actually checked to see if that's still a thing, because I don't use mimics very often in 5th edition, or haven't, and it's not a thing in 5th edition. But in older editions, I think it was 3rd edition, if you killed a mimic, it shit out a whole 1d12 in coins or something. So the other chest. So you hit the other chest with Shatter Spike. The lid splinters open. There are 13 items in this chest. There are 2 crystals worth 10 gold pieces each, an orb worth 20 gold pieces, 4 rods worth 10 gold pieces each, and 6 wands worth 10 gold pieces each. And Edith and Empiking, you can make an Arcana check.
Okay. Not me. I think they are lockpicks.
I got 8. I didn't do so well either.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So that's all that's in here.
Basically.
What did I miss? I fell off.
So there are 2 crystals worth 10 gold pieces each, an orb worth 20 gold pieces, 4 rods worth 10 gold pieces each, and 6 wands worth 10 gold pieces each.
But they're all just not actually anything in them?
Correct. Oh, what the hell? Bug, you can make a Arcana check.
Sweet.
While they're doing that, I'm going to use the Staff of Healing that I bought and fix myself up a little.
That's a good idea. The Staff of Healing was probably one of the better purchases.
Not so good for Bug. The sword's like, you fool. And does only slightly better. The sword got a 10.
So on a 10, the sword tells you all of those items in that chest can be used as arcane spell focuses.
Can you use as arcane what?
Spell focus. So an arcane spell focus, essentially what it does is it allows you to cast a spell without needing the material components.
Cool.
So that's why you'll see a lot of wizards, they'll have a staff or even just a plain quarterstaff, or they'll have what appears to be, they call it a wand, but it's really just a stick. But there's no charges in it. They're using it as a focus so that they don't have to use material components.
Anybody want a wand so that they don't have to use components?
I use my bottle.
I think I might have one. I swear I picked one when I got equipment at the beginning.
Well, you can use as a wizard, you can use your staff as a spell focus, I believe.
I have a tiny totem.
It's very similar to, a paladin or a cleric can use their holy symbol. It's the same kind of thing.
Still 130 gold of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's big. All right. With Sparkles healed up, I suppose we should move on.
So, like I said, up this wall, there is a door up there that is 20 feet above you. but you don't see any stairs that would lead to that door. It's just there's just a door there.
That's super weird.
And the other tower didn't get us there?
No.
I'll open it with my mage hand. Nobody be directly under it when I do it, though.
Well, Sparkles can fly a rope up there, or I can wall walk up there after we look in the door. I'll have the imp go look. He flies.
So you mage hand open the door. Like I said, it's 20 feet up, so you can't really see too well in there. But Ampa King, if you are wall walking up there, and Sparkles, you fly up there to attach a rope, both of you can make a perception check.
I'm good at perception.
I'm not.
Oh, Jesus.
22.
So, Sparkles, you go to attach the rope, and the rope in this area here kind of drapes, like it is sitting on an invisible staircase.
Well, that's just crazy.
The imp got a 19 perception looking up there.
So the imp looks up in the door at the top. And of course, now I also forgot, there is down below you, you can see that there is what appears to be a musty old library down there.
So Sparkles will use her pixie mage hand swarm thing and kind of point them to what I think is the stairs and see if they can like land on it, move around on it.
Yeah, they can.
Feel it out.
They can walk up and down those stairs. They're just invisible.
Yeah.
Now, if you are moving up and down the stairs at an increased rate of speed, like you're in a hurry, you would have like disadvantage on dex saves because you can't see the stairs. But aside from that, they can be used completely normally to walk up the side. And then, of course, like I said, down below you, you determined that there is another invisible staircase over on this side that leads down to this musty old library that's down below you.
I'll point this out to everybody. Look at this weird shit.
I'm interested in looking at the books.
Yay, books.
Yeah.
So the imp going up looks in the door and reports back that it looks like there is a laboratory. There's shattered glass covers the floor. There's a large wooden trellis table that's been knocked on its side. There are a large empty cabinet dominates the back wall. Is what you see upstairs. And the rest of you go downstairs. Gather you all together here. Copy. Now, let's see. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. There we go. So you go down into this musty old library. There's a suit of dented plate armor stands in the center of the room here. Tomes are packed into built-in stone bookshelves with a tall alcove above each shelf holding a small statue of a gargoyle. There's one here, and there's one over here. Actually, I guess they're kind of in the middle of these shelves. when you get to the bottom of the stairs, the staircase here doesn't appear to be invisible anymore. It appears to be a normal stone staircase when you look at it now. And Edith, you said you were gonna start looking through books. So there's a stone bookshelf here, here, and here. Which one would you like to look at?
The one to the south.
Okay, we'll put you over here. What's the rest of you doing?
Sparkles is going to go up to the suit of armor and knock on and be like, anybody home?
Yeah, there is no movement from the suit of armor. Bug, what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm watching everybody else right now and seeing if the sword has any suggestions for me. I'm going to make a perception check to see if there's anything special in the room.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Hey, I did well. I made a 21.
Okay. The two gargoyles are actually gargoyles. They are not merely statues. And they realize that you know that they know that you know that they are gargoyles.
Hey guys, these are gargoyles for real, for real.
I like how
No surprise.
I like how the paladin is so, nonchalant. Hey, those are gargoyles.
Be gone, Satan!
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, finally, decent initiative.
I rolled 1 for initiative again. What the heck? Remember there was like 3 weeks in a row where I couldn't hit anything? I hope this is not like that again.
Right. Yeah.
I say switch the hand you're rolling the dice with.
I mean, was that only 3 weeks? Because it felt longer than that. It felt like 3 months. It was crazy. It was so funny because she couldn't hit anything playing D&D, but then she would get like crit successes when playing Traveler. and then after a couple of weeks it flipped. And so she couldn't do anything in Traveler. It was wild. So Bug yells out that the gargoyles are actually gargoyles, and now you can see them, slowly turn their stone heads in Bug's direction. Sparkles, what would you like to do?
Is there something wrong with Impa King?
No.
Oh, okay, I saw the icon stuff on him.
Yeah.
I'm concentrating on a spell, so I use the hands on head to remind myself, and then the web is I'm stuck to the wall, climbing all over ceilings anytime I want.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Reminders to myself that I've set those things, and I'm not walking on floors.
Right.
No, I just want to make sure I didn't need to help you for something.
Nope.
All right, then. For fun, let's go ahead and I'm going to use my main action to do my divine stuff and cast Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay. So everybody's going to get some temp hit points.
Yep. That's going to be 30. Change color.
So everybody inside the tower now gets 10 hit points.
How many?
1 second. Make that a little darker.
No, I want to know now. I want to know now.
8 temp hit
Wow.
points.
Nice.
See, if you rush them, you get your answer.
And Sparkles will fly up and land on top of the stone bookshelf
Okay.
for a better height advantage.
All right. Bug, what would you like to do? So these stone shelves, I guess that's a good question. Stone shelves.
She likes to perch.
Like Edith's cat.
So the stone shelves are 10 feet tall. And
what happened to Edith's cat?
here in this alcove, there's a small stone table. And on the table, there is an in-progress dragon chess game. You can see that the pieces have been moved. Like, they're waiting to come back. So, Bug, what would you like to do?
Before I start, I go, are you sure you want this fight?
Yeah, they're elementals, so yeah, they don't.
Alrighty. Then I attack.
Realistically, it works out for them because I mean, if you kill them, it just sends them back to their elemental plane. So they probably don't want to be here anyways.
I feel compelled to release them.
Right? Yeah, they don't want to be here anyways.
Does an 18 hit?
It does.
Going for this one.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. For 10 points. Oh wait, no, I gotta roll the 2d6 because it hasn't gone yet. 14 points of damage.
Okay. Your next attack?
20 something or other to hit.
Yep.
For 16 points of damage that time.
Okay. All right.
Much better attack that second time.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Any movement, bonus action?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am for movement, and I'm gonna save my spites for bigger bads.
Not a bad idea. The gargoyle. So this gargoyle is going to fly down and attack Bug. This gargoyle. This gargoyle is going to fly down and attack Edith. They get to make 2 attacks. One with its bite and one with its claws. Alright. On Bug, the bite attack misses with a 12. Claw attack. Shit, misses with a 9. On Edith, 17 to hit.
Yep.
And second attack misses with an 8. So the bite hit for 5 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
Impicking, what would you like to do?
I will use bonus to move my hex to the Edith imp or Edith gargoyle.
Okay.
I will have my imp give me advantage with help on the attack.
Okay.
And we'll do this. Advantage. Ugh, does the 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Struggling to pick the right thing. There we go. 17 points.
Okay.
Second with no advantage is garbage at 10.
That's a mess.
And then I will move a few feet along the wall near the ceiling.
Okay. All right. Edith, you've got a gargoyle all up in your old lady grill. What would you like to do?
I probably gotta do some melee stuff, which I don't usually do. Unless, well, burning hands might hurt them.
Yeah?
I haven't cast that before. Sure. Let's see.
So, what is it 15 feet? A 15-foot cone?
That's what it says on here, yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be doable.
Okay. They have to make a dex saving throw for DC 14, it looks like.
Okay, hold on here. DC 14 dex save. I don't know that that's going to go very well for them. Oh, we got a 15, so he will take half damage.
Okay, let's see what that is. Six.
Yeah. All right. I think it's funny that gargoyles essentially are stone, yet they have. I mean, that's got to be a pretty hot fire because they have no resistance to fire. I would think that stones would have a little bit of resistance.
Yeah.
And there's sandstone.
Yeah,
They're crumbling.
yeah, they have a low melting point. Sparkles, what would you like to do?
Let's see. I should be far enough away that I can do a move action and hop over to the other shelf without being attacked.
Yeah, because you're 10 feet above them.
And I will shoot the one that's attacking Edith.
Okay.
Get off my grandma! 17. Oh, that's gonna be like mid-20s.
Yeah, that's a hit.
9 damage.
All right. You got anything else?
No, not at this time.
And you want to re-roll your temp hit points?
That dropped to 7.
Yeah, so Edith, when you take damage, don't forget that comes off the temp hit points.
Yeah, I got 3 left. So
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, and you just got refilled on to 7.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Bug, what would you like to do? Is Bug muted?
Yep.
Mr. Bug, you're muted.
Damn it! I hate when I do that. People started asking me questions, so I muted myself and forgot to unmute.
Right.
It was like a 23 to hit for
Yes.
13 points.
Okay. And your next attack.
Nat 1.
Oh no! So on your nat 1, you actually hit the gargoyle, but it doesn't do any damage. But the sword gets stuck in the stone skin of the gargoyle, so it's like stuck in him.
Damn it!
The gargoyle is going to go ahead and make his 2 attacks on Bug. Bite attack.
Does he get like advantage or something because I'm stuck?
Yeah, he should. 23 hits.
Yeah.
And then his claw attack. 10 misses. So he is going to do 5 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. Take those off my 10 hit points.
Yep.
I'm
Gargoyle
yelling at Galador to stop chastising me.
Gargoyle is going to make 2 attacks on Edith. Bite attack. 16 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
For 8 piercing damage.
Nope.
Claw attack. This is does a 12 doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
I didn't think so. I know you have low hit points or low AC, but I didn't think you were that low. Impicate.
I cast like mage armor I take it off of my slots.
Yeah, I've always wondered, like, why would any wizard wake up in the morning and not, oh, I'm gonna get my cup of coffee. I better cast mage armor on myself first. Because I mean, it lasts 8 hours, so. Empigane, what would you like to do?
I will continue shooting the gargoyle in front of Edith.
Okay.
Imp help action on the first one. Soft 20.
That hits.
Ooh.
Ouch.
24 points.
Yeah. That gargoyle crumbles to the ground.
And I'll move my hex with my bonus to the other guy.
Okay.
And I roll a 13.
That's a miss.
And I'll move a little bit for a better shot next time.
Okay.
Done.
All right. Edith, so your gargoyle crumples to the ground. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I wonder if I should use the cantrip so I don't run out of stuff. Yeah, I'll do Ray of Frost on the other one.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I roll to attack for that one. Sweet, 24. That definitely hits.
Yes.
Okay, let me find a D8 in here. Okay, here we go. 8 max damage.
Okay. So gargoyle's still up, but he's now minus 10 feet of movement. And he's not looking super healthy. Sparkles, what would you like to do?
I'll take a shot at him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a crap 14.
That's a miss.
That's all I do.
Bug.
Okay.
10 pin points refills at 8.
Nice.
So we adding 8 or it is 8?
It is.
It is 8.
Yeah, it
Okay.
changes every round.
Oh,
Yeah, each round it refreshes.
Yeah, my brain was like, I know it refreshes, but I swear you just said add this time, but okay.
No.
All right. My sword being stuck in it, do I have to get my sword out?
No, that free action to unstick your sword.
Okay. You know what? You're gonna pay for that gargoyle thingy. Soft 20 to hit
That hits.
for 13 points of damage.
Okay, and you swing and you unstick your sword and kind of do a whirlwind kind of roundabout attack, and you decapitate the gargoyle.
What you get, sucker?
So, going through this library, it's a foods library.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really. So, oh wait, Edith, make an investigation check.
21.
So you find a couple of interesting books. The first one you find is a fat tome titled Flump Mating Rituals, with an embossed image of two flumps on the cover, their tendrils entwined. Kind of picking this big book out, you're like, ew. You find that the cover is a false one, wrapping around a tome that is bound in dragon hide. It is a disguised spell book. Get your pen and paper ready. I will tell you what spells are in the spell book.
Okay, go ahead.
First one is Arcane Lock, Burning Hands,
I didn't know that one.
Comprehend Languages,
Ooh.
Counterspell, Dark Vision, Dimension Door, Find Familiar,
Oh, I know that one.
Levitate, Sending, and Unseen Servant.
Oh, I have that one too. Cool. Awesome.
Bug, you determine that the dragon chest set is made of hand-carved ivory and is worth 500 gold pieces.
I will take the chess set.
Okay. And that is what's in this room. You don't find anything else of any value in here. I mean, it was worth it coming down here. You got a shitload of spells and a 500 gold piece chest set.
True. Should we head to the? Or no, wait. There was a lab upstairs too, a spooky laboratory to check out.
Right. That's all the way up at the top. I shall copy you. Copy. And then... and then... there we go. So yeah, just as the imp described, this this room at the top is, so you go through the door, and the door's like here, and you discover that there is another set of rounded stairs beyond the door that lead up to this landing at the top. And there is this the room itself is kind of a ledge, and it looks like there was a laboratory here. Shattered glass all over the floor. There's a large wooden trellis table that's been knocked on its side. This back here is an empty cabinet, but there, aside from that, you don't see anything in here that's useful unless you like carrying around broken glass. And then on the opposite side of the room, the southern side of the room, the circular staircase continues to go up.
Shall we go up?
Sure. I will be walking along the wall.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. I forgot about this room. Okay. Oops. Okay, so this room You get to the top of the stairs, and you can see that there's a 10-foot diameter circle of runes that has been drawn on the floor in what appears to be blood. It's now dried blood. Smoke billows from 4 iron braziers placed around the circle. Around this circle, there are 4 Zentharim that are trying to rest. Or, I'm sorry, not 4 Zentharim. There's 3 apprentices that are standing around the circle. In the middle of the circle, there is a Balgura demon. And they get to make a check. Hold on here. Where are my apprentices? Appendix B. So I'm going to make the natural assumption that because apprentice starts with A, it's going to be at the beginning. Oh, look at that. They actually did it this time. Okay. Look at the big brain on Wizards. They get to make a perception check at disadvantage because they are trying to focus on keeping this Balgura demon under control. I don't think it can get lower than 2. So they do not notice you. Their attention is 100% focused on keeping this Balgura demon kind of locked into place. Everybody can roll initiative. And you see on the other side of the room that the stairwell, of course, continues going up the tower.
Holy crap.
Wizards.
Well, I ain't going first this time.
Ugh.
Rolled a 1 and a 2.
Ugh.
Would I know if killing them or stopping them would release the demon or just send the demon back to where it's coming from?
Well, I mean, so it's here. So they've already summoned it. But it seems you would know that at this point what they're trying to do is bind it to their will, which doesn't generally go very well. These guys, like I said, they're apprentice wizards, so it's really questionable why they even attempted this. It's kind of a really stupid thing for apprentices to do. Balgura demon. That's a 20. Now let me double check something. So the Balgura demon, in their attempt to bind it, the Balgura demon is standing there, kind of hunched over. Its eyes are closed, almost like it's asleep or in trance, and they just keep chanting this spell. The Balgura demon can't do anything this turn because he is being bound by the spell. They don't know you're here, so actually, we will go Sparkles. You see this going on. What would you like to do?
Oh, shit, that's a good question. What's the distance between these little guys? Mm. 5-foot radius. That's not good enough. I'm going to use bonus action to do Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Who are you
And
marking?
we'll do this little guy over. Change cursor type. This little guy right there.
Okay. They got arrows in the back.
Which is coincidental because I use my move action to fly over here and shoot him in the back.
Okay. So you have advantage on the attack because they are unaware of your existence.
Yeah, the 26 was my best.
That hits.
Where's my Hunter's Mark? Just to double check. That's a D8, right? Come here, spells. Where are you? That's a D6. Not bad. 9, 11. 15 damage.
Okay. So Arid Pino gets an arrow through the back of the head and dies, which interrupts the spell, and the Belgura demon wakes up and is really, really pissed off. You got anything else in you, Sparkles?
No, that's bonus. Slight movement, and yeah, that's pretty much everything.
All right. Edith, what would you like to do?
I think I should try and cast Witch Bolt. Yeah, I'll cast Witch Bolt.
Who are you going to cast on?
Sorry, the demon thing.
Okay.
The big bad.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. See, here's another example. Here's an example of the inconsistencies in 5e. So the gargoyles were like CR2 and had like 58 hit points. A Balgura demon is CR5 and only has 68 hit points. I'm like, that, what? All right.
Does it have like a way higher AC?
No, it has the same AC.
Spell casting.
Yeah.
So it was 15 to hit. Does that hit it?
That hits.
Okay. And it's 1d12 lightning. There we go. 11.
Okay. Does he have any? He does have resistance to lightning. So he will take 5. But you have Witch Bolt on him, which is now just constantly tasing him every round as long as you concentrate. Yeah, we'll give Edith the little concentration icon. Just as soon as I find it. Okay, so Edith is zapping the Bulgura demon. Empiking, what would you like to do?
I will move my hex to the Bulgara.
Okay.
Move along the wall to be away from everyone else. And zap the demon.
Okay.
$19 to hit.
That hits.
Plus 20 points. Second one.
Okay.
Saw 21 to hit.
Yep.
For another 18.
Okay. So, yeah, Empa King moves along the wall and finger blasts the Balgura twice, and it lets out this terrifying roar. Bug, what would you like to do?
Does this count as a fiend?
It does, indeed.
Yay!
Bug's like, I am going to fuck him up.
And it hasn't gone yet in battle, right?
No, you guys got surprise on the entire group.
Oh, sweet. Mother!
So you're moving into attack. Take it.
Yeah. Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
I didn't think it would.
But you get another attack, so.
I do. Since it missed, do I still have advantage?
You do.
Okay. That's better. So some 20 hits.
It does.
Okay.
Now you get to see the full power of this fully armed and operational Holy Avenger.
Oh yeah, now we do all the things. All right, well let's start off with 13 points for just the sword damage.
Okay.
Then we'll take it up to 20 because they haven't gone yet, so I get the 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
And then take it to 29 with the 2d10 for Galadorn.
Okay.
Could have been better, but I'll take it. And then I'm definitely going to throw a Divine Mofo Spite on this one. So, where's my d8s? Where's the other d8? What the hell? Whatever, fine. Roll this one twice. I said 29 before, right?
Yes.
31. 36. And for a bonus... Ugh, what's that stupid swipe? I should have that ready. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I forgot to have the other spell ready. And for the bonus, I will throw on a... Where is it? I guess I'll just do the Burning Smite.
Sure.
Searing Smite.
So he does have resistance to fire, so he would take half damage from
not
that.
Searing Smite. Nope. That sounds stupid.
There's another one though. I don't remember which one it is. Are we sure that Searing Smite does fire damage? Because I think it does radiant, doesn't it? One of them does radiant, and it sounds like it should do fire.
Branding is fire. The other one, I believe, is radiant.
Yeah. So no.
Searing is fire. Searing is fire.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Let me look at branding then.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do radiant damage.
Branding Smite
It's gonna be so much ridiculous.
is radiant. That's the one I wanted to do anyway.
Right.
Mixed up which one was which. Branding Smite is the one I wanted to do. So an extra 2d6 of radiant damage. And now the target sheds dim light around itself. Shit. What was my number?
36.
36? Thank you. 43 total now.
43? So
Yeah.
that puts the Balgura at negative 18. And you go and just basically cut the Balgura demon in half. And the two halves fall to the ground, and almost immediately the body pieces melt into this bubbling, sticky ichor that is now a pool on the floor where the Balgura demon stood. The two apprentices that are left kind of scream. And Sparkles, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Finally, something evil to kill.
Something really, really evil.
Sparkles will shoot the further one away.
Okay. Did you want to move Hunter's Mark to them?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be the bonus attack or bonus action. 14 to hit.
That is a hit.
Oh, nice. Dice come back. Oh, not bad damage. 10, 14, 18 damage.
Jesus. This is a dead apprentice. They drop immediately with a arrow that has pierced their ribcage and gone through both lungs.
With Hunter's Mark, on my first attack, I get 1d8 and 2d6 plus 4 damage.
Jesus. Okay. Edith, what would you like to do? There's one left.
I'll move to the side here so I can see better, and let's try Ray of Frost on them.
Okay.
That's 21 to hit.
Oof.
That hits.
Yep, that's going to get him.
And 6 gold.
Okay. And they're at minus 10 feet of movement. All right. King, you can potentially put a stop to this.
Yeah, I'll move around the wall for a shot, move my Hex, and Blasty.
Go for it.
Well, good thing I had advantage, but I don't think a 9 hits.
No.
So
Almost.
Shot. 14?
Yep. That gets him.
13 points of damage. My lowest roll of the day.
And King takes the head off of Savara Firehorn. So, like I said, that was a pretty stupid move for these apprentices to try to summon a demon and bind it. But I don't know what kind of Operation Manshoon's running here, but that seems rather stupid. There was a caveat. So the last paragraph of this room says that if you had freed the Balgura demon because it was so pissed off, it would have been running through the rest of the Kolat Towers, smashing and destroying shit, which would have disrupted Manshoon's operation because he would have had to spend time to go and try and hunt this fucking thing down, right? But you just killed it outright, so. But aside from that, there's no treasure in this room whatsoever, but there is this stairwell that leads up to the next level. I gotta look at
We'll have the imp go look above us if people would like.
Okay. So, getting up to this room, the imp sees that there is... At the top of the stairs end in a door. Is what the imp sees. Are you going to have him open the door?
Sure.
So he opens the door and he sees that there are bits of clay, stone, and bone littering the floor. And he takes like a step inside and notes that the floor kind of creaks and tilts a little bit, like the floor is uneven. And there is the shattered remains of a wooden staircase that climbed 20 feet up to the next level. But like I said, the staircase has been shattered, and it just the rubble of that staircase lies on the floor. Copy.
I'm still on a wall, sticky like Spider-Man.
Well, you're going to be on a wall in here somewhere, because this whole area is enclosed, and the stairs end in a door.
Mm.
And
so the imp is like right here.
Yeah, exactly.
He flies, so he wouldn't necessarily know about the floor unless it's visually observed.
Well, he's checking things out in there. He does note that there is a suit of armor standing in the room here. That it just is standing there, but the imp's invisible. But he does. If there was any creatures in here, they wouldn't see him anyways. But he's not noting that there's anything. It looks clear. That's what the imp is telling you.
Famous last words. How's it look outside? Looks clear.
Well, I will relate to the party since I can see through the imp's eyes that looks like there's collapsed stairs, suit of armor, maybe a sketchy floor, so be prepared to jump. I don't know.
So we will pick up this room of the tower next week at 12 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll pick up with you guys moving further up the tower. And I don't know, you guys have made a lot of progress. Maybe there's not, another 4 or 5 sessions. You guys are cooking right along here. So we'll just have to see. Like I said, I'm not in a rush.
Cool. Have a good weekend, gang.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. I will see you next week.
Thank you. Take care.
Yep, have a good one.
See y'all. Good times.